Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bubblegum Reviews. My name is Steve, and the movie will not be next to, or the movie that's next to me will not be next. The one that will be next is actually Two Guns with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg, and actually a lot of other people. Bill Paxton, Edward James Olmos, is that his name? I think so. Anyways, this is a second or third time watch for me. It's truthfully, I'm going to just go ahead and say it right now. It's one of those movies that you kind of put on and go make dinner, kind of watch it here and there. It's nothing like that you need to be paying full attention to because it's nothing great. You ever see one of those movies where it feels like it's complete shit, but the cast is so a bunch of stars in it, and they still feel like they can save it? That was this movie. Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg were kind of a not odd pairing, but an interesting pairing. Like I didn't really expect to see that. They weren't bad, but it wasn't great. The movie bounced around a lot for me. I didn't really care for that. The one thing I did like was the soundtrack. And the other thing was, for not knowing that they were undercover, they sure seemed to know that each one of them was undercover. Like, that's the part to me that I was just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, they're literally talking about how, oh, I think he's this or I think he's that. But then they totally seem to just know that each one of them's under. Like, I was just like, this doesn't make really much of any sense. But there's a lady in this. I can't remember who it is exactly. I know I could probably just look it up, but I don't really want to do it right now. There's a lady in this who is really, really, really pretty. I think she's like Latina or something, but she's in this, and wow, she looks really, really good. But anyways, director in this, we have Baltasar Kormaker. The only other movie that he's done that I'm familiar with is Everest, that true story about Mount Everest and the people that climbed up it. Not a great movie, but I mean, true stories are always ones that I will watch. I just hope they're good and not terrible. IMDb gave this a 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 64%. I, again, with the 4 out of 10, I gave it a 4 out of 10. Nothing special. It's there for, like I said, cook, throw on Two Guns, watch a little bit of it. You'll get pretty much the gist of it. I mean, I shouldn't say that because, like I said, there's a lot of bouncing around, but it's good background, throw it on. You'll hear some good sound or soundtrack. So it's nothing to write home about. Box office of 131.9 million on a budget of 61, so it made 70.9 million. This came out in 2013. This had Denzel. This had Mark Wahlberg, Bill Paxton. Just quite a big cast. That's pretty low, but it wasn't a great movie. I'm actually surprised that Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 64%. I mean, IMDb usually goes higher than Rotten Tomatoes, so I am kind of surprised at that. But anyways, the interesting fact in this was during the film development, I guess originally, before these two, they had Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson playing Bobby and Sid. If those two were the ones that were going to play this would have been a freaking completely different movie. Completely. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn are actually funny. Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg, I'm not saying they aren't funny, but they're nowhere near Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. So this would have been a freaking completely different movie. I would have been interested. I feel like I would have been more interested in it than with these two. But with that being said, I also feel like it kind of would have been like Starsky and Hutch, or I'm not saying those two were the main guys in that, but anyways, yeah, I feel like those two have kind of already been in a movie like that, so it would have been kind of like, oh, well, we've kind of already seen this. But anyways, that was definitely interesting to me. Up next will be Kill Bill. I just finished it. You're going to love to hear what I have to say about that. Yeah, so that's up next. After that, I added another movie to my possibles here. I'm not saying these are the next ones I have to watch. So I got Dog Soldiers here. This was my buddy who was telling me to watch this. Then we got Little Miss Sunshine and Once Upon a Crime. I actually have to add another one, but it'll be one of those. My guess is it's going to be Little Miss Sunshine. I actually love that movie. I've seen that movie quite a bit, and I really enjoy it. So that'll probably be next, but you never know. I could change it up. That's it for today. You guys have a good day. Like and subscribe. Check out my letterbox and my eBay. All right, see you guys next time.
Make no mistake, I don't do anything for free. I keep my enemies closer than my mirror ever gets to me. And if you think that there is shelter in this attitude, where do you feel the warmth of my gratitude?